to go ahead?
Okay. We're live now, Dr. Madeline. Go ahead.
Okay, welcome everyone. Hello, greetings to all. Welcome to Stopping the Violence program. As you know, we have had many speakers to come on, and I'm affiliated as Dr. Madeline Clark Alexander out of Indianapolis. My husband and I are on the road. We're coming into some rain, so we thank you for your patience as we move forward. And everyone knows every now and then you run into a little technical difficulty. So at this time, we're welcome Karen Ryce. Karen Ryce, called the miracle worker of parenting and education. She's been an ambassador for peace for over 7 years. She is a partner with Universal Peace Federation. For over 40 years, she has been dedicated to creating harmony with kids, her kids she worked with in thriving nonprofit Montessori schools, co-founded in 1973. She has worked with the public school system. She is an author who has written several books on this topic. She's well known for parenting for the new millennium, creating friendly families through the power of respect in 1996. She has given classes, workshops. She's been interviewed on the radio, written magazine articles, and she has also written newspaper columns. These days, she's primarily shares the one rule, the essence of the 108 tools, skills, and strategies she used to create harmony with her kids over the years, making it simple to create harmony. And that's what we're looking for, right? She shares through her website, www.happykidsco.org, and social media, including her Facebook page, happykidsco.com. She has a free Facebook group called Happy Kids Members and her YouTube channel, Karen Ryce. At this time, without further ado, we present to some and welcome to all, Ms. Karen Ryce.
Hi. Thank you, everyone, for their patience. Today, the first presentation is going to be the one rule keeps peace in the family for you. I used to have a Zoom show, and this was one of the presentations I did for that. When I started working on today's slideshow, I thought I understood certain things. But as I worked, more was revealed. Recently, there have been questions and concerns that using the one rule might not work. I understand where these concerns come from. After all, it is such a different approach, and parents are in charge. Not only that, it is so simple. How can something that simple work? It just couldn't be that simple. And since it is so simple, it must not really work. It's got to fail. It doesn't make sense. Although I really want everyone to adopt the one rule, one relating to kids from birth onward, by just adding it to whatever way they parent now. I do understand the concerns, and I'm going to do my best to address them today. When I was first introduced by 3-year-old children to what I now call the one rule, I told them to help them understand what I wanted to help them do, that they were each important. Then I pointed to each of them and said, You are important, and you are important. They could agree with that. One little girl's awareness expanded to realize that they were both important. I saw it as her eyes lit up. I now realize that her eyes may have lit up because she thought of a solution. However, before thinking of the solution, she had to accept that the solution had to be something that they both liked. That's what the one rule is, finding solutions that everyone involved likes. Until now, I've believed that her eyes lit up because she expanded her thinking to accept that both of them were important. Of course, that may be true. However, it is only now that I've come to realize that whether that is true or not, by following what is now known as the one rule, she found a peaceful, harmonious solution, a solution that was enjoyable for both of them. That is true for anyone who uses the one rule. There may be more than one peaceful solution, but it has been my experience working with kids that there is always at least one agreeable solution. No one has to believe that they are important or that the other person is important. But when a solution is discovered that all involved truly like, so they can agree to it, they are acting in peace. They are peace in action. This is built into the one rule. Even if people's awareness does not expand to include the importance of the other person, as long as they are following the rule, they find a solution that they both like or they all like, and they agree to use that solution. The result is peace. They also get to feel good about themselves and their life. They're happy with the solution. It may not be the solution they originally thought of, but they like it anyway. That is why they agreed to it. Think about how you feel when things are going the way you want them to go. You feel good, right? Another thing I mentioned to those first two little girls was that they both deserve to have what they want, and that we were going to figure out how to do this. This is the main thing that people have trouble with. This is why people have trouble believing that the one rule works. They want something and someone else wants the same thing, like the little girls both wanted to swing on the same swing, the only swing available. Whatever the situation, it seems that there is no way that both people could have what they want. They think that they have to give up on what they want or the other person does. That is the most common outcome. That is what people are used to. It's hard to realize that there is a peaceful solution. It's hard to accept a possibility that seems so uncommon. I just realized that when I promised, I vowed to never force my children to do what they did not want to do. I put myself in the perfect position to be open to peaceful answers. Peaceful solutions require that everyone involved agrees. This does not mean that they just say they agree. but that they fully, truly agree, because that solution is something that they like. So I have been using the one rule for at least 38 years. For most of those years, it was called the power of respect. And there were 108 respect tools, skills, and strategies I used to make it work. That's why I know I've found a true solution, mighty enough to stand on its own. One rule. In case some of you don't know, the one rule came into being one night when I wondered if people would actually have to learn the 108 tools, skills, and strategies I'd used to create peaceful relationships with the kids in my life. That night I asked myself, of the 108, what is the least that people need to know to be able to raise happy kids? The one rule was my answer, and that one rule is powerful enough to create peace between parents and kids, and powerful enough to be your fail-safe in your intention to raise happy kids. The one rule is peace in action. Here are a couple of examples of how the one rule can ensure happy kids and peace between adults and kids. My youngest daughter and my 6-year-old grandson were visiting. The one rule had just taken on its name. As I was explaining the process to them, my daughter used the word agreement to explain the process in one word. I liked it. I used it. It seems appropriate that the one rule has a one-word description. My grandson liked to watch TV and YouTube video cartoons. My daughter did not really want him to do that, especially as much as he wanted to. One time when he asked me to set up my laptop for him, I told him that I felt uncomfortable doing this because his mom did not feel good about it. I wanted to work this out with her too. He thought about this briefly and suggested that he and I play cards. So we did. We had fun. So here, all people involved were honored. Peace was maintained. Everyone felt cared about. Another example is from someone I coached on the one rule. One issue she had was feeling uncomfortable, always buying her 5-year-old daughter things every time they went to the store, especially when her daughter was not behaving in ways she liked. She came up with an idea that they all liked. She made a chart of behavior that she liked. Her daughter could earn money for those behaviors and buy her own things. Her daughter liked earning money, and the parents liked the behavior. Here again, all people involved were honored, peace was maintained, and everyone felt cared about. So I hope you'll join me in the movement to help kids grow up happy and in peace. Use the one rule. Become an affiliate or a partner. Earn 50% commission. Share this with many, many more. The affiliate and partner program are part of the Happy Kids business launch. Starting now. Join us. I'm glad you're here. Well, that's the end of that presentation.
Awesome presentation. I like that one rule. What really captivated me is when you said the daughter earned money and the parents were able to deal with her behavior. They acknowledged her behavior. Her behavior was getting better. So in that process of the one rule, you also allow a child to use their critical thinking skills. You allow them the opportunity to make choices and come to a place where they have good solutions. With your son and him playing cards with you, it gave him another option where it didn't upset or unbalance the family. So with that being said, that's from my perspective. But as you move forward, and I heard you clearly say, to join you, to represent you, to, be there as a place of support. As you move forward, are you working on any other books?
Actually, yes. I have quite a bit of it's called the Friendly Parent Storybook, and it's filled with examples of how you can use the one rule, because like in each of these situations, if there could have been many other possible ways of solving them that would feel good to the people involved. This is just what actually happened. So this storybook that I'm writing is like that. Like their situations and how do these particular people solve them. So that's one book I'm working on.
Okay, and I like that, the power of agreement. And the word reminds us, I believe it's in Amos, how can two walk together, at least they agree. So I really like that. And the power of respect, respecting each other's opinion and respecting each other's differences and figuring out a solution, how we can come together in peace. So I like that. So AJ, I can't see if there's questions or if there are any hands being raised, but anyone that has questions or have comments, please let AJ know.
Okay, please just raise a hand or just unmute yourself, guys, if you have some questions.
I have a question, EJ.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What ages this will it work? I mean, you have all the way from 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old, and then teenagers. And how does it vary with the age that you're working with? And how long does it take to kind of get a child to understand what you're trying to get to as far as an agreement? How are they going to figure out how they're going to get something out of it, and how they're going to manage to make it work?
Well, when this first came about, we had started Montessori school, and children come there from 2 to 6, and but it was the 3-year-old. The 2 little girls who wanted to swing on the same swing. And then there were 2 little boys who wanted to ride the same trike because all the other trikes were being used. And they, like, within a couple of minutes, once I pointed out to the little girls anyway, I don't think I did to the little boys, the little girls, I pointed out that they were each important and that they deserved to feel good, and we were going to find something a solution that they both liked. And then that one little girl came up with one instantly, which was that she would sit on the swing and the other little girl would sit facing her, and they could both swing at the same time. The little boys, it was different. One little boy knew that the other little boy really liked the toy that he brought for show and tell that day. And so he said, well, if I can have the first turn,
Is it far?
you can hold my bear.
Go around? Okay.
And the other little boy was thrilled with that. Okay, so I'm sure that from 3 onward, this works. The one thing about older children is if there have been problems with them, like the relationship is rocky, it might take some time. I'm sure it'll take some time for them to believe that you're really going to, you don't want to punish them anymore. You don't want things to go badly. You want things to go smoothly. So if you stick to it, they'll come around. I know the one example I know of this, I tutored a little girl who lived across the street from me when I lived in LA. And when her father was really harsh with her all the time. But then he actually bought my book, my original book, and started doing things like that. And she forgave him like instantly. And they got along well after that. So I know it can happen that way. With babies, it's really more the adult who has to do this. And you can tell if it's working, if the baby is content with what you're doing. And 2-year-olds are a unique age. They're going through specific things like developing their willpower is one of the hardest things for adults, but really critical for them to have willpower that works in harmony with the rest of them. And they're working to put harmony in all the parts of who they are.
I'm here. I don't know what it said.
Yes.
We can hear you, EJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Is
Perry.
that good?
Everybody.
Yeah,
We
thank
have
you.
Donna Avey. You wanna put a question, Donna?
Yes, my name's Donna Avey. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska. And I keep listening to the Wednesday conversations about violence and looking for solutions and good models. And this model always worked with me in my home too. Didn't call it exactly the same. But what I noticed is that there are systems throughout our lives, starting with the children in grade school and in different circumstances where people are not adapting or adopting that rule 1. They don't care if you agree with them or not. They don't want to respect you. So what is your recommendation for influencing a change in attitude for the systems or the environments? Can the children themselves, by modeling it and speaking about their need, can they help bring about a change? I'm seeing these children become adults and asking also how can we bring this into systems like people not respecting each other, wanting to respect each other. like different gangs fighting or something like that. I don't know. I'm rambling, but I hope you get the gist of my question. How do we teach our children they will not always find people that will use the same rule or the same system? I'm sorry.
Karen,
Leslie, you're muted, Leslie.
Elementary for them,
Oh, sorry.
but in the and they managed to have things go smoothly in a lot of ways.
I like the way, Karen, you say, I'm important and you're important. That you emphasize that in conflict situations.
Yes, that really that is so critical. Because we are each important. That's the reason for all of this. Because we are each important. And most people are going to agree with certain aspects of that.
Thank you. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, I have a plan that I'm just beginning to put into action. I've asked someone to join me in this. And it involves having the children learn this and maybe present it. It hasn't taken form yet. It's just beginning. But I feel it's going to be the most influential way of sharing this. And maybe we can connect and you could do it up there. Anyway, just a thought.
Mhm.
and that's beautiful that you're lending yourself in that way. I have a full review from a beta test student. Saida, it says, I did Karen Rice's Friendly Parents Happy Kids course. The skills and mindset she shares are invaluable. She shares the simplicity of the one rule as an anchor point of her approach, as well as many details and nuances that help make following the one rule possible. This course has many launch points of personal reflection and growth. I think it is a wonderful course for a family to follow together if possible. But even as an individual, it has great benefits. It would be great for a community to grow up around this work in order to support each other in their journey as the revolutionary to the status quo. As children learn from their parents, as their models, parents learn from their communities and greater societies as their model. That is where we see evidence of what is possible. And I like to believe that relational harmony is possible. We need it now as much as ever in the world. And if we can figure out how to be examples of harmony. So this young lady that you work with, and I heard you say that you would like to, you have a thought, you have a plan that you would like to share with others. So would you say that it's more productive to work individually, or are you interested in working with families?
Oh, either way, because yeah, either way. I've coached individually. I've given the training individually. But it would be great to work with family.
So if you coached parents, do you think parents would be able to adopt it and teach the children?
Yeah, I've seen it happen. Yeah. Even one person who fixed things with his daughter and has it working well with his granddaughter. And so anyway, the plan that I have involves working, well, at the moment, I mean, this is just, as I say, it's just in the planning form, but having the children demonstrate this, and children doesn't mean just small children, but even older children and teenagers. I feel that if they demonstrate how this is working, it's really going to be very powerful. Of course, adults too, if that's a possibility. We'll have to see how this unfolds.
Okay, and there's value in respect. And as we learn to respect each other, as we learn to value each other, that will increase the love, that will increase harmony. When you can respect someone else's decision, or you can work with them when you disagree to see what you can do to come to a common agreement to be able to move forward. I love the story of the little girls because I remember swinging on the swing with a girlfriend, and I just turned around towards her, and we just had a ball. It lasted seemed like for hours at that particular time. So that was great. That's very powerful. Is there anyone that have anyone else that have questions or comments? Or is there a hand raised?
Just unmute yourself.
Yeah, Karen has steps where you get to agreement. So when you look on her website, you will get all the meat of what are the steps to get to agreement. So yeah, there's a lot there. And it's simple steps, but it all starts with the I'm important, you're important, which is sometimes hard for parents to remember. Parents, often we think that we're more important.
Thank you, Leslie, for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well,
One thing I wanted to say, part of one important step in this is being able to say yes only to what you really like. Because children can do that so easily. They do not have a problem with it. But there are adults, and I'm wondering if it's mostly women, but who are willing to say yes to things that they don't really feel good about. But it's really important to be like a child in that way and just say yes to what you really like, because otherwise what is going to be created is not harmony. And if it's not harmony, then it's not really peace. So it's a critical point. And as I thought back over the years with all of this, I realized that one of the things I wanted was for my children to be able to live their lives the way they wanted to. And I know that that's important to a lot of people. And I realized that I did this. I didn't say yes if it was something I really didn't want to do. So I guess that's why things went so peacefully and harmoniously. One other point I wanted to make about the Montessori school was that once this concept was introduced, I told the children in circle that we were going to be finding solutions that they all liked. But I only actually worked with a few children. The little girls on the swing, the boys on a trike, some other girls with a book, deciding, which one gets read and or which order. Anyway, but after that, it's almost like all the children picked up on this, and it became the norm. It was like problems that we used to have, they just didn't come about anymore. And the only time that there were problems was if a new child came in who didn't have a smooth home life, then it would take a little while for that child to get adjusted to the situation at Children's House, but they would. It was pretty powerful.
Well, children are pretty authentic when it comes to their who, what, where, when, and how. So
Right.
for them to be able to problem solve in that way and have the wherewithal or the courtesy to hold someone else's thoughts, to consider someone else's thoughts, and be able to come together collectively for peace, for harmony, to be able to move forward. That's an awesome rule. And that is rules,
that's the
that's
rule.
rules as adults that we can use. It's selfishness.
I know.
It's actually selfishness. But kids, like I say, children are pretty authentic. So they have a different form and a different way of communication, and they really want to be genuinely happy. So that's
Right.
an
Right.
awesome skill that you have. Reverend Daryl Franklin, is there something that you wanted to say? Did you have a comment, or did you have your hand raised? We have a few more minutes.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, pardon me. I got this laryngitis that came up. So, but I don't have a particular question, but I just find it very, very important to be able to develop the children's ability to be able to find a pathway that would lead them towards a healthy collaboration, and to be able to do that in the youngest, in our youngsters, I think that's very huge. The question I would have is that is there a pathway towards allowing this skill level to be incorporated in the public school systems?
Yes, there is, definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you know of, are there any school systems that you know of at this particular time that are working towards applying these strategies in their curriculum?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
But Karen's been educating teachers in this technique. So hopefully it's getting out there. Right, Karen?
Yeah, I had I mean it wasn't formed exactly into the one rule yet, but the power of respect, there were about, I guess, 300 or so, maybe 300 to 400 that have taken that.
Mhm.
I just want to ask if it's possible, and you probably have it because I was unable to get access to this conversation on my computer. But there's any way that you can put your link to get access to your website, and so I can look at it and have a more deeper dive into your system and your skills in which you're teaching to our children.
Yeah, well, I had trouble getting on too. Maybe somebody can do that. That would be great.
Well, I put in happykidsco.com in the chat. Is that
It
correct?
needs to be happykidsco.org.
Oh,
.com has some things on it, but .org has the most.
okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Happykidsco.org.
Okay, if there's not any more comments or questions, I'm going to ask you, Karen, to leave us with some closing remarks.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope that everyone can take this to heart, that there is a harmonious solution to any of our situations. And I mean, just if you hold on to that and look for that, once you understand the issue, the problem, whatever it is, the trouble, then put all the attention into, okay, where and what is the harmonious solution? And it has to be something that everybody involved likes. They just have to be those involved in the situation. It doesn't have to be anybody else. And to realize, like the little boys with the trike, one of them did get to ride the trike first, but the other got to do something that they loved as much as riding the trike. And so they both got to feel great about how it went for them. And that's what I want for everybody. And I mean, obviously I haven't been in every situation that exists in the world, but I think there is a harmonious solution. And to keep in mind that we are each important.
Mm-hmm.
We are each important.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind also. Okay.
Great.
Amen. I agree with you totally. We're each important. The power of respect and the power of agreement. I thank everyone for joining us this week. I wish you well as we continue. We should lift Reverend Oliver up in our prayers to say, Lord, keep him as he travels. May he have a safe landing and a safe return home, as my husband and I are on the road as well. Please keep us lifted up in prayer. And until we meet again, peace and harmony. Take care.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank you.
great program. Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone's smiling and waving, Karen.
Oh, nice.
Great
Yeah.
presentation.
Oh,
Great
this is
presentation.
a
I like that
Yeah.
rule of
strange
one.
event, but
Yeah.
we
How about
did
it's
it.
happy adults, right? Happy adults.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. As grandparents, we need to find solutions for our grandchildren too.
Oh, good Lord. Yes, amen. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very good. Respect.
She said every person is valuable. Every person has
Amen.
worth. And we should be able to honor that.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you all.
All right. God
All right.
Thank
bless.
you,
Okay,
everybody.
EJ.
God bless.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
EJ.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
We'll see you next Wednesday.